Welcome to another edition of Breaking News brought to you by Source Selection Soundbites. Today we will discuss the case of Technica Corporation decided at the GAO. The case concerns a justification for an exception to fair opportunity under FAR 16.5 procedures. FAR 16.5 exceptions include A. Urgency, B. One responsible source, C. Logical follow-on, D. Minimum guarantee, E. Authorized by statute, F. Set-asides, and G. DoD, NASA, and the Coast Guard may use 6.302 sole source rationales. The subject case pertains to the use of the urgency exception in the FAR 16.5 environment. The Air Force decided not to exercise the second option with the incumbent due to quality concerns. The agency decided to issue an order to lie dues without providing all contract holders an opportunity to compete for the order. The urgency exception was utilized to support the agency's action. The justification approved a task order with a base period of 1 year and 2 6-month options for a total value of $92,450,000. Shortly after a protest was filed against the agency's action, the protester argued, 1. The agency improperly utilized the urgency exception because their circumstances are due to a lack of advanced planning. 2. The task order has an unreasonable duration. And 3. The agency failed to give reasonable consideration to whether the task order should have been set aside for a competition among small business vendors. Given the events that led to the sole source, the GAO determined that urgency did not arise because of a lack of advanced planning. In addition, the GAO pointed out that FAR subpart 16.5 states that an agency may, at their discretion, set aside orders for small business concerns. GAO explained that set-asides remain discretionary unless specific contractual language obligates the agency to do so. Lastly, the protester argued that the duration of the task order was unreasonably long because directives in FAR 6.302-2 say the duration of a sole source task order issued for urgency cannot exceed 1 year unless the head of the agency determines that exceptional circumstances apply. En route to finding against the protester, the GAO determined that the constraints applicable to the urgency exception in FAR 6.302 do not apply to FAR 16.5 acquisitions. According to the GAO, FAR 16.505b(1) specifically states, the competition procedures of FAR Part 6 do not apply to orders issued under FAR subpart 16.5. Given that the 1-year constraint in FAR 6.302 does not apply, the duration of the task order only has to be reasonable. The GAO determined that since the original award took 16 months to award, it was reasonable to issue the non-competitive award for 2 years to ensure there is time to award a replacement contract. Given these facts, the protest was denied. Now let's address a few of the lessons learned from this protest. They include 1. Advanced planning need not be perfect to avoid the conclusion of a lack of advanced planning. 2. Set-asides within the context of an IDIQ are discretionary unless specific contractual language requires a set-aside. And 3. Although some of the sole source rationales for FAR 16.5 acquisitions are similar to those in FAR 6.302, it does not mean the FAR 16.5 acquisitions are subject to the same restrictions. In this episode of Source Selection Soundbites, we discussed the Technica Corporation case and the sole source concepts related to the urgency exception in the FAR 16.5 fair opportunity environment. This concludes today's Source Selection Soundbite. If this video was helpful, hit the like and subscribe button to ensure you don't miss any new material. If you want more details on the subject, they are available on the Source Selection Answer app. It contains lectures, quizzes, court cases, sample documents, and more material that allows practitioners to quickly obtain actionable knowledge. Thanks for watching. See you next time.